Number 10. Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast, Fall River, Massachusetts. Without a doubt, the most famous haunted bed and breakfast in New England is the Lizzie Borden House in Fall River. For those unfamiliar with the story or the macabre jump rope rhyme, police accused Borden of brutally killing her father and stepmother with a hatchet in 1892. She was acquitted of the murders later that year. At the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast Museum, visitors can tour the house or spend the night, even staying in the room where Abby Borden was killed. Guests and employees have reported all kinds of strange activity in the house, including weeping and footstep sounds, an apparition in Victorian-era clothing wandering the halls, doors opening and closing, and muffled conversations coming from vacant rooms. Number 9. Devil's Tramping Ground, North Carolina. Deep in the woods of central North Carolina, about 50 miles south of Greensboro, is a mysterious circle where no plant or tree will grow, nor will any animals cross its path. The reason? The 40-foot clearing is where the devil comes to stomp and dance every night, at least according to local legends. The area has built up quite the eerie reputation over the years, with people claiming to see red eyes glowing there at night and placing their belongings in the circle in the evening, only to find them thrown back out the next morning, presumably so the devil can clear his dance floor. Number 8. R.M.S. Queen Mary, Long Beach, California. Aside from a brief stint as a warship in World War II, the R.M.S. Queen Mary served as a luxury ocean liner from 1936 to 1967. During that time, it was the site of at least one murder, a sailor being crushed to death by a door in the engine room, and children drowning in the pool. The city of Long Beach purchased the ship in 1967 and turned it into a hotel, and it still serves that purpose today, although the reported ghosts of the deceased passengers get to stay for free. For an extra dose of spine-tingling experiences, see if you can visit the ship's engine room, which is considered by many to be a hotbed of paranormal activity. Number 7. Myrtles Plantation, St. Francisville, Louisiana. Built in 1796 by General David Bradford, Myrtles Plantation is considered to be one of America's most haunted sites. The house is rumored to be on top of an Indian burial ground and is home to at least 12 different ghosts. Legends and ghost stories abound, including the tale of a former slave named Chloe, who had her ear chopped off by her master after she was reportedly caught eavesdropping. She got her revenge by poisoning a birthday cake and killing 2 of the master's daughters, but was then hung by her fellow slaves. Chloe now reportedly wanders around the plantation, wearing a turban to conceal her severed ear. Number 6. Cahawba, Alabama. Alabama's first capital and famous ghost town takes its name from the state's longest river, situated at the confluence of the Cahawba and the Alabama. It was abandoned after the Civil War, and its empty buildings, slave burial ground, and eerie cemeteries are now popular settings for ghost tours and stories of paranormal activity. The most famous tale is that of a luminous floating orb appearing in the former garden maze of Colonel C.C. Peguese's house, shortly after the colonel had been killed in battle. The phenomenon became known as Peguese's ghost, and still attracts curious visitors to the site today. Number 5. TRANS-ALLEGHENY Lunatic Asylum, Weston, West Virginia. The TRANS-ALLEGHENY Lunatic Asylum opened its doors to patients in 1864, and in the 1950s, the West Virginia facility reached its peak, housing more than 2,400 patients, even though it was designed to hold only 250. The severe overcrowding led to inhumane conditions like lack of heat and convalescents kept in cages, and patients started acting increasingly violent, from starting fires to attacking staff members. The asylum finally closed in 1994, but the souls of some patients are said to linger. Ghost tours are available for those wishing to see how some patients lived and died within the cramped halls. Number 4. Pittock Mansion, Portland, Oregon. Oregonian pioneers Henry and Georgiana Pittock decided to build their dream house when they reached their golden years, in 1909, spurring the innovative design and construction of the Pittock Mansion. Unfortunately, the couple only got to enjoy their home for a few years before passing away, Georgiana in 1918 and Henry in 1919. The building is now a public landmark where some strange occurrences have been reported, such as the smell of roses, Georgiana's favorite bloom, filling a room with no flowers in it, and a childhood painting of Henry moving, on its own, from spot to spot within the house. Clearly, death was not enough of a reason for the Pittocks to vacate their beloved home. Number 3. Pine Barrens, New Jersey. The heavily forested Pine Barrens spans over 1 million acres and 7 counties in New Jersey. The area thrived during the colonial period, host to sawmills, paper mills, and other industries. People eventually abandoned the mills and surrounding villages when coal was discovered to the west in Pennsylvania, leaving behind ghost towns, and, some say, a few supernatural wanderers. The most popular Pine Barrens resident is without a doubt the Jersey Devil. According to legend, the creature was born in 1735 to Deborah Leeds, her 13th child, with leathery wings, a goat's head, and hooves. It flew up the Leeds chimney and into the Barrens, where it has reportedly been killing livestock and creeping out South Jersey residents ever since. Number 2. The Stanley Hotel, Estes Park, Colorado. The Stanley Hotel's stately Georgian architecture and world-renowned whiskey bar have lured travelers to Estes Park since the hotel opened in 1909. But the Stanley reached new levels of fame after inspiring Stephen King's fictional Overlook Hotel from The Shining. That eerie association aside, many other ghost sightings and mysterious piano music have been connected to the hotel. The Stanley Hotel leans into its reputation quite cleverly, offering nightly ghost tours and psychic consultations from the in-house Madame Vera. Number 1. Eastern State Penitentiary, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The castle-like Eastern State Penitentiary took solitary confinement to new levels when it was built in 1829. Prisoners lived alone, exercised alone, and ate alone. When an inmate left his cell, a guard would cover his head with a hood so he couldn't see or be seen. The prison had to abandon its solitary system due to overcrowding from 1913 until it closed in 1970, although the forms of punishment did not get any less severe, chaining an inmate's tongue to his wrists as one example. The site, one of the most haunted places in America, now welcomes thousands of visitors every year, both for its museum and annual Terror Behind the Walls celebration, which features 6 haunted attractions within the prison walls for Halloween. Reported paranormal happenings have included disembodied laughter, shadowy figures, and pacing footsteps. If you enjoy the video, please share and subscribe.